50 days transformed by prayer.
Hi boys and girls, I'm going to tell you a few stories. This story is actually one that happened to me when I was a little girl. We lived on a farm and we had cows that we would raise and we'd sell, and we were moving the cows to our pasture, which was about 2 miles away. And we did this by chasing the cows very, very gently down the road and to our pasture land. And we were all out, my brothers and I and my dad. We were all getting ready, and my dad said, okay, you need to go and stand kind of crouched down on the other side of the road. And then when they start getting close, you need to stand up and make sure that they go down the road and not through our neighbor's field. And so they were coming, I was waiting quietly, I was crouched down. And I think an angel really helped me with this, because all of a sudden I heard the cows running really fast. All I could hear was these hooves trampling and trampling and trampling. And I stood up very quickly, and it was just amazing. The cows spread out around me and I wasn't trampled. I was probably 10 years old, and a herd of cows coming at you was a scary thing. And it could have been very dangerous, but I think my angel was there and stood in front, and the cows split around me. So it's just a good reminder that when trouble happens, your angels are always there, guiding you and watching you and keeping you safe. And that's one story that I wanted to share about how God intervened in my life.
So in the late 1996, 1999, that period, I had this desire to pursue higher education. I was married, I had children, we had lots of expenses, and I remember I said to my husband, I want to do my PhD. And he said, do what? I said, I want to do my PhD. And he said, where's that fund coming from? I said, not only do I want to do my PhD, I want to do my PhD in a university in the United States of America. I was living in Jamaica. And he said, I don't know where that money is coming from. I said, I don't know either, but I have this desire to do it. And so I started to pray about it. I said, God, please guide me in this process. I don't have the support of my husband, but if it is your will, let it happen for me. And so I made many applications. And all I was applying for was scholarships, because financially I know we could not afford it with 3 children. So that was in the 1999, in early 2000, I could not get a scholarship. And I said, God, I know you hold this universe in your hands, and I work in a financial institution, and I know all this money that I see every day is yours, and this world is yours, and I'm going to ask you, if it is your will, please let it be done for me. A year passed, no scholarship. And then I was accepted in universities, but I just did not have the money. And then early 2000, I said, this is what I'm going to do. I said to my husband, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask my office, my workplace, if they'll pay for my PhD. I went, I spoke with my managing director, and he said, this is a financial institution. We would not pay for your PhD because when you're done, we have nowhere to put you. I said, okay. And I said, can you allow me, if I want to do my PhD in the United States, to still keep my job and give me the opportunity to go and to my classes and come back? And he said, let me think about it. A week passed, and he called and he said, this is what we can do. We can't pay for your PhD, but we can give you the time, and you can go and you can come. And I said, this is what I can do too. I'll use my vacation as much as I can and all my accumulated time. And so it cost quite a lot. This is just the beginning of the story. I was able to do my PhD. I did not get a scholarship, but I saw God working through. I had to keep my job full-time and do my PhD in a different country full-time, because you could do some work on your own, but you had to fly in for seminars and classes and so forth. But God came through for me in such a marvelous way. At that time, He provided an additional income for me that I never thought would have materialized. And as I looked back on my life, I think God was allowing me and giving me the opportunity to say, Marcia, it's not in your hands, it's in my hands. I am the provider. And He carried us through that, those years of studying. And when I finished my doctoral study, I could not attend the graduation because we were financially depleted. And I said to my husband, can you imagine, because he's not a Christian, I said, can you imagine I was able to do my PhD, cost me lots of US dollars, I worked Jamaican dollars, and he said to me, some higher power must have helped you. And I said, it's Jesus. He helped me. And I'm done with my PhD and I do not owe anything. And I said to him, do you see how great God is? And he said to me, well, your higher power is really good to you. I say this to say that many times we have desires and passions in our life, things that we want to accomplish, and we feel that we can never attain those things. And many times we underestimate, we really do not understand who God is. I have seen over and over again how great God is. He is our provider, He's a sustainer. He says this world is He says anything you ask for, He will grant unto us according to His will. And He did say we should ask and we will receive. If we knock, He will open doors for us. He didn't say that when you pray to Him, you have to just sit and things will just fall into place. It's ask and we shall receive. Seek and ye shall find. So I believe that I know, I've proven that God is can come through for us in such powerful ways that even at this moment you still do not understand how it all happened.
50 days transformed by prayer.
Paul Gustave Doré was a gifted painter and the most productive and successful French illustrator in the middle of the 19th century. In one of his trips to Europe, he lost his passport. When he arrived at the border, he tried to explain his situation to the guards. When he told them his name, Doré expected to be recognized and allowed to pass through. The guard, however, told him many people try to pass the border by lying about who they were. Doré insisted that he was who he said he was. Okay, said the guard, we will give you a test, and if you pass, we will allow you to enter the country. They gave him a pencil and a sheet of paper, and the guard asked the artist to outline the peasants that lived near there. Doré did this so quickly with such great ability that the guard was convinced that he was indeed who he claimed to be. You see, his work confirmed his word. The acts of God confirm who He is and what His word is capable of doing. In yesterday's message, we noticed that prayer is recognizing our human insufficiency, but at the same time, it is a declaration of the sufficiency of the Creator. The aseity of God is also known as His independence, is the virtue and understanding of God in that He exists in and of Himself, and that He is eternal, from the eternity past to eternity future. Because He has not been formed, He is completely independent from anyone outside of Himself, and thus He is an absolutely pure being, that is, perfectly self-sufficient, with no need to rely on any other being. It is through divine mercy that the Creator becomes accessible to created beings, especially for us as sinners. I love the way A.W. Tozer describes His divine mercy. He says, "The awful majesty of the Godhead was mercifully sheathed in the soft envelope of human nature to protect mankind." It was on the basis of this holy self-sufficiency and his accessibility that Paul argued in Athens in the Areopagus right across from the Acropolis, stating, "The God that created the world and everything in it is the God of the heavens and earth. He is not served by hands of men as if he needed something, because he himself gives us all life, our breath each day and everything else we have. He made all the nations from one source. He did this so all men would seek him and find him, despite him not being far from any one of us. For in him we live and move and have our being, as certain also as our own poets have said, for we are also his offspring." Prayer is founded on the conviction that God prevails as the only one who can provide for our needs. According to the Bible, those who seek the Lord in prayer recognize God's sufficiency. Through prayer, the Creator gifts us with someone we can talk to, confide in, and put our hopes on. God's sufficiency overcomes our insufficiency. The gospel of Jesus emphasizes in a unique and surprising way that only God can take us out of the sinful predicament in which we find ourselves, powerless to overcome. This gospel presents us with a new perspective and hope for life. This is your God, who is so great yet so close to you through prayer. Pray at this moment to the Almighty God, who can abundantly fulfill our needs. As you pray, remember, prayer is the key in the hand of faith to unlock heaven's storehouse, where are treasured the boundless resources of omnipotence.